Hey, what's going on, YouTube? What's going on? This is your certified life and relationship coach, Coach Court. And in today's video, I want to talk to the love avoidance in this video. I need you guys to do this now. I'm going to share a story or actually comment from somebody that follows me on my YouTube channel here, and I want to give a little. I want to respond to it, but also share a little bit of insight. But at the same time, talk to the love avoidants out there who are really struggling to have happy and healthy relationships, all right, or fulfilling relationships. But before I get into the content, if this is your first time viewing me, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Click that little subscribe button, hit that little bell to be notified for the newest content. And if you guys are part of my membership program, I appreciate you guys. The Harvest Level program, where you get 20-minute coaching calls with me every month. Also, you will be helping me out, contributing to the channel, giving back to the community, and just trying to help grow and prosper this channel. We're almost at 4K. I appreciate you guys. If it wasn't for you, there would be no Coach Court. So I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for being here. But before I get into the content, I got a little something I'm working on here. All right, check it out. Thank you for sticking around. Listen, I was about to go into my whole little spew, my little pre-recorded spew. But guess what? Like I said before, we're almost at 4,000 views. I appreciate that. And I will get into the content right away today. All right. So this is a comment from somebody who has been following me, has been a subscriber for a really long time now. I want to say she's been around for at least a year. And I appreciate this. If this is your comment, like this, share this, and just know that I am constantly watching and reading all of the content, all of the comments. I don't have anyone here to help me out. So it's just me. And this is why sometimes it takes me a while to get around to you guys' emails and to get around to your comments, because outside of coaching, I also have a family of my own, and I have little girls to raise. So I'll get to it. My ex sees lots of things that people say to him as criticism, even when they're being kind and trying to help him. He sometimes makes mistakes at work and is unable to accept responsibility for them, and therefore cannot apologize. It also means our colleagues don't feel they are able to approach him to help him see where he consistently goes wrong. They are starting to notice a pattern. Yeah, not everyone can take accountability. Not everyone can handle that feedback that they get from other people. It feels hurtful. It feels damaging, because let's not forget, people who have non-secure attachment styles, they struggle with a lot of insecurities. Even as an anxious preoccupied in recovery, I struggled with a lot of insecurities, and I have to be mindful about those insecurities whenever I'm thinking about going off the deep end and starting to feel lack of worth, and like somebody's about to abandon me. And a lot of people, particularly experts on attachment styles, say that the DAs have high self-esteem, but this is just not true. Boom. I just said that. I didn't even read this yet. I kind of wanted to do this as like a unboxing on my channel, but yeah, this is just not true. He is hypersensitive to what people think of him, and I feel he also takes things very much out of context because of his stories. He will see insults, etc., where there are none, or when people aren't even talking about him, but won't ask for clarity. Yeah, they are hypersensitive for sure. He also hates, and this could be something about. I just released a video today saying that your friends and your family, the things that you put up with from them, the way that they treated you, the health of the relationships that you have with them, it's pretty much grooming you to have an unhealthy relationship with somebody that you're romantic with, your boyfriend, your wife, whoever it is. Whenever you're you're putting up with certain behaviors, if you're like needy, well, not needy, but if you're like a pushover, or you're someone who they know they can go to at any time and ask for what they want and don't give anything in return, or if they're verbally abusive to you, they're passive aggressive, if they kind of bully you in a little slick way. I don't know if people realize, but a lot of the times when people say sarcastic things to you, if they're your friends or your family, they crack. We used to do this when I was growing up. We used to make these little sly little comments, these little jokes that we just saw as like jokes, but realistically, those were things that they really meant, but they were just kind of leaving an undertone of sarcasm there in order to lessen the sting. But it's still, they still fabricated the idea of how they saw me or what they had to say about me. It's just that they did it in a way because they're my friends or they're my whatever they are to me. Um, they felt it was okay. So the things that you allow from other people, your friends and your family, growing up all throughout your life, you're probably getting preconditioned to get into a relationship with somebody that's going to treat you the same exact way, and you're just going to see it as like normal, healthy behavior, but it's actually not. So back to the message here. He also hates people walking away from him during disagreements, yet stonewalled me for 7 months straight following our breakup. He doesn't even see the connection. I have recently withdrawn my energy from the situation, mirroring his withdrawal again from me after he tried to reach out and got too close for his own comfort. I am only speaking to him when it's absolutely necessary. He's pretty much going back to the silent treatment, but I can see my withdrawal as having some sort of impact on him through his body language when he is in my space. He seems very awkward and unsure of himself. When DA's a piece, give me a second. I'm going to read this comment. To the comments, I'm going to break this up here. It's kind of a long comment. Could you explain how to reach out after no contact period with the FA female? Just be confident. Act like nothing happened. Like, hey, how you been? Hey, what's going on, stranger? You know, it's real nonchalant, but don't reach out like and say, I can't, where have you been? Or I haven't heard your voice in a long time. Just be playful, be fun, be playful. You notice that the people who are funny, the people who are witty, they tend to have, if you're growing up in high school, college, they tend to have a lot of people that liked them. They may have had a lot of different women because they were funny, and they may not have been even that attractive, but because they had a personality to them, they had charisma, they were funny, people wanted to be around them. They gravitated more towards them. So when you reach out and you break that no contact, just be fun, fun, light-spirited, and charismatic. Do it that way, but don't be all serious and bring drama to their life, because they're not going to want to bring you back into their universe if you're dramatic. Hey, if you guys are just coming in here, today we're talking about the dismissive avoidant and telling them I'm going to give them a little bit of advice on what to do instead of walking away like this guy does. Instead of walking away, I'm going to end this anyway. So you guys, if you want to see that comment, it's on, I forgot what video that's on, but anyway, because a lot of this stuff it's all done subconsciously, all right? And this is why you need therapists and you need counselors to help you out, more therapists and cognitive behavioral therapists to help reprogram that subconscious mind and help you unpack some of that stuff. But the conscious ways that you can do this is practicing mindfulness and being present, mindfulness, and prompting yourself when you're about to do something that is a subconscious thing, right? So let me try to I'm gonna try to be as accurate as I can with this, all right? So if you're thinking about responding to someone, I think about how I was taught and how to manage my emotions, because it's all about our perception of things. If you think about the output, like if you're looking and you're picturing a circle here, they got 4 points here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're thinking about the output, which is something that happened in the external world, all right, and that's happening at the top, And at the top, let's say somebody says something to you. This is for you dismissives, all right? Let's say somebody says something to you and it's at the top. And you go on to the next dot and it's like, how do I perceive that thought? All right, that action or what that person said about me. All right, says somebody said, hey, you're ugly. All right, that's the top. And you go on down, all right, how do I perceive what that person said to me? All right, that person, I perceive that they're trying to hurt my feelings. And go down to feelings. All right, how do I feel about what I perceive about what that person said to me? Like, I feel angry. And then you're going to give the output right here. And that's going to be where your response comes from. So you got what happens in the external world, some type of outside factor. Then it goes to how you perceive what happened, to how you feel about what happened. And then you go to your output. This is actually kind of a webinar type live session tonight. When DA's appeased, isn't that a kind of like lying? I mean, it's trying to learn the skills, but not actually doing the work to make it something that happens on a more natural basis, something that is inherently part of them. I mean, they may be doing it because, hey, I like you and I'm trying to meet your needs, but because they have this feeling already that they can't be consistent with what you need from them. And they'll say that often. They'll say, I can't be what you need for me to be. I think we're better off. I think you could find somebody better than me. I'm better off being single. So, Renee, hi. I'm trying to catch up with your messages here. Sorry. I made the mistake of telling my DA friend that his lack of commitment to making dates is perceived as disrespectful. That is common courtesy not to leave me hanging. I mean, his response was, are you calling me disrespectful? Yeah, see, that's just, if you think about that wheel of something's missing there. All right. So you have what you said. All right. Standing someone up is disrespectful. And you go right to, I perceive you calling me out or calling me disrespectful, which makes me angry or makes me frustrated. And it's like, in between what happened and how they perceive it, there is an issue in between there. Does that make sense? All right, because what somebody who, can go all the way through the wheels in a healthy manner would see it as like, all right, I can see how you standing someone up, this is at the top of the wheel, right? You standing someone up is comes off as disrespectful. And what somebody who are really good at have really high emotional intelligence would say is like, all right, what you're saying is I need to work on the way that I handle these situations. Or if you're just trying to be a good friend, what I'm seeing is you're saying that I need to improve that area of my life, and how I feel about that is it makes me happy, or it relieves me because I was always wondering what I was doing wrong, or I know you're just trying to be a good friend. So the output is, all right, thank you for saying that. But because there's this miscommunication or there's this misfiring going on there, he went right to, oh, you're calling me disrespectful. And automatically he's going to go to the natural feeling that somebody would feel if somebody was calling them disrespectful. Then it's like there's something missing there. So if you're here, this is what you need to do. Yes, this miscommunication. This is what you need to do. Really take time and pause before you go to, because there's so many people go from, all right, here we go from something that happened in the external world, and we automatically skip that perception and we go down to the feeling. And I always tell people that anger and happiness are secondary emotions. Right? There is always something that happens before you get to that emotion, which is why so many people chase happiness, because they are always looking for that external, something external. This is why I practice meditation. There's something external to try to get them to happiness, because there's always got to be something that comes before it. Right. So All right, it's got my check. Oh, I perceive that as I'm very lucky, or I worked hard. All right, that makes me happy. That makes me grateful. But what if you can just skip all of that and get right to the feelings? Like if I was to lose my job and I'm like, I'm kind of grateful that I lost that job because I was kind of slacking and I was kind of tired of getting up early in the morning. So, I'm kind of grateful about that. Or listen, I got my car repoed when I was really struggling, like going through a divorce. I couldn't afford it. I'm like, I was kind of getting tired of like having to pay that expensive car. I got in way over my head with the car that I currently had. So, that was just it needed to happen. How you perceive. This is where it is right here. This second dot in your life. You have the external, what happens in the external world and their perception. How you perceive things can really change your life. Wayne Dyer says when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I don't think he was the first one to say it. I think it was other people that said it before him. He just kind of like, repackaged it and used it his way. But it's so true. And I ask you guys, for the people out there who are love avoidance, people who are dismissive, who are fearful avoidance, how is it that you can shift your perception on what goes on at this second dot? How can you switch that around to where when you get to the third dot, the feeling part of it, you're able to have a positive outlook or better feelings about that? It doesn't even have to be like, it's not like I'm saying, hey, I just got hit by a car, now I have a broken leg. Oh, I didn't need two legs anyway, I already have one. But it kind of is. If I got hit and one leg broke, I got another one. It's kind of like that, but not so extreme. So if you're an avoidant, ask yourself, what is it about this this interaction, or what is this person doing that's causing me to go automatically to the anger and the pull away and the fear? What is it that you can do in order to freeze and be in that present moment? Because I could tell you that the people who are fearful avoidant, they're constantly in their head and painting these different catastrophes in their mind. And if you think about it, look back 5 years in your life. If you can go back that far, look back a year. Think about all the things that you worried about that never ended up happening. Like, what is it that you thought like, oh man, this is going to be terrible. Oh, I'm getting late to work. I'm going to get fired. What is it that's happening in your life that never end up happening? Because usually we get so caught up with the negative scenarios that we cause those negative scenarios to happen. Like we're not able to show up authentically. We're not able to be present with the people that we're with because we're constantly thinking about what's going to happen next. I was on a call earlier with somebody, and I said, we have to stop focusing on so much on what we're becoming or what we became and focus on what we're being, like being here. We're human beings. Actually, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, but for the people who aren't spiritual like that, we're human beings, and we need to focus more on just being in the moment, not on where we're going next, not on where we came from. It's good to reflect on what you became if you became something good, but the people who don't feel like they became anything, they don't like reflecting on it. Those are the people who struggle with depression and mental health issues because they just can't get over not becoming anything. But I got somebody close to me that said that they wanted to do something in their life. They're like, yeah, I always wanted to do this, but it's too late. And it's like, it's never too late. Like, why is it too late? I was listening to Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor was talking about this multi-million-dollar project that he was rolling out. And Bob Proctor's up there in age. And the person was saying, that's kind of ambitious. Like you're going to roll out that project this late in the game, this late in your life. He's like, why not? Like, why do I have to worry about age and limitations? Like, I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it. So what we're going to do, people who are avoidants, if you're coming in here catching this on a replay, What is it that we're going to do? As a love avoidant, what is we going to do? We're going to focus on just being. We're going to pause, go back, catch that replay. We're going to pause, think about that circle. Where am I at? What happened? How do I perceive what happened? How do I feel about what I perceived? And what output am I going to give out? I had to catch myself too, because there's some, there are people that come into the community every now and then, and they'll leave negative comments, and not only one negative comment, they'll leave like 5 on different videos. And I can remember listening to Gary Vee, and Gary Vee was like, if you have something you want to say to me and you want to get my attention, it's not calling me 50 times in a row, and it's not sending me 40 emails in a row, and it's definitely not leaving all these negative comments. You're going to get my attention, but it's not going to be the attention that you want. So I had to pause myself and say, all right, usually when somebody is doing something like this, it means they're struggling. It means something inside of them is reflecting or projecting that onto me. Like, it's all how people treat you and the things that people say to you is always a direct reflection on how they're feeling inside. So I had to catch myself and say, all right. And I actually took a message from him too. And I said, hey, how can I help you? And sure enough, he was struggling. He was, in a really bad spot, couldn't afford a session, but really wanted my attention. And I said, I'm sorry you're going through this. And I gave him my advice on what he should do. And he was grateful for it. But it was kind of a reflective moment for me, because I'm thinking, all right, this could have went 2 ways. I could have perceived this in a way it's like, oh, this person's trying to hurt my feeling, or this person's trying to blow up my channel, or try to make me look, discredit me in what I know is my truth. I could have went with that perception and blocked them on all social medias, or I could have did what I did at option B. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm just kind of reflecting here with you guys in real time on how I handled that situation. So if you are somebody who struggles with that, and you struggle with making that, if you're constantly going to this anger point here, even with my kids, I have to pause myself too, because they're crying about something. My 6-year-olds, 6-year-olds crying about something. How do I perceive that? Do I perceive that she's getting on my nerves, or she's irritated, or something's wrong with her? How am I going to perceive that? I don't always have the great perception of it, especially if I'm here doing a live session and she's beating on the door asking for her 7th popsicle for the day. So I have to make sure that I'm mindful and present always too. Focus on being. All right, sorry. Can you come back to a DA after walking away almost a year ago? If so, how do you reach out in an effective way? If you guys are still connecting on social media, reach out to her on social media. Say, hey, stranger, it's been a while. How you been? Just fun. I talked about this earlier. Be fun, playful, light spirit, and just detach yourself from the outcome. We show up inauthentically when we are trying to get a specific outcome, right? And people see right through it. Just for example, if you go onto somebody's channel and they're promoting their courses and shirts and mugs all throughout the session, you'll be thinking all right, this is getting excessive. And you start to think, all right, this person's really trying to force this on me. And what it does is it just turns people off to you, and they'll start to turn away and not be so quick to click your video when you see a little notification pop up. So I think I got to take off here though, everybody. It's been really fun talking to you. Can you come back? All right. That's exactly what I said. We don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. Can't remember who quoted him. Oh, but it's so true. Oh yeah, that quote. I love that quote. And this is the difference between people who, I think Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think it was said in that book that when you change I and me and you to we and us, it forms a genuine connection with people. And certain people just can't do that. Certain people, it's always, feast or it's either, may the best man wins. But we're all connected. We're all the problems in me, the issues in me, the flaws in me, I see them in other people, or vice versa. We're all connected. We're all part of a machine, or one big collective level of consciousness, but we're not going to get into that. Louis Hay is a perfect example. I'm gonna write that down, Renee. Louis Hay. And then I'm going to take off. This was a great session with you guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you. Appreciate all of you for helping me push this channel, this community, because I'm here for you guys. I'm here to serve. So if you want my help personally, reach out to me on my other websites or social media. My website, www.fruitfulseeds.com, and reach out to me on my other social medias. Twitter is Coach Court 2, Instagram is I Am Coach Court, and Facebook is I Am Coach Court. Thank you guys, and I will talk to you soon.